Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you are new. I am the Stepson of Krypton,
Mantis.
and today we are going to react to and discuss and kind of break down the newest trailer for HBO Max's Lanterns, getting ready to come out here in August. Mantis, are you ready?
Let's go.
All right, don't want to waste any time. Let's go.
This ring, it's the greatest weapon in the universe. When and
Okay.
if to use it, that's the whole ball game, Junior.
Did you just use that ring to counterfeit money? No.
I'd probably
Tell
do
me
the
how
same
you got
thing.
I was gonna say I do.
You know
Yeah.
how I got it. I sure as hell didn't interview for it.
That's cool.
Oh, well, shit, maybe you should have. Power like that, shouldn't you have to work for it?
I've been doing this since you were a baby. The only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
All right, that looked
think
better
that's
than the last time we saw him fly.
Everybody's lying to us.
We're not leaving here till we find out what they're hiding. Dangerous part of the job. You need to be fearless.
How are you chosen for this?
It's only one question. Are you afraid?
Okay, so everyone knows
You
who
afraid?
Green Lantern is.
Are you afraid?
Hey, guy.
Are you afraid?
Where is that?
I don't know, but you saw look like two moons.
Yeah.
Are you afraid?
Oh, they're tagging him.
Okay. See the green down there.
I was raised fearless, and I'll do this better than he's ever done it before.
Then go and get it, John Stewart.
Interesting. So it sounds like he's not Green Lantern yet, or a Lantern yet. Like he's. I mean, even I don't know. I was assuming that Hal was talking to John Stewart there when he was like over my dead body, but he may have been talking to the bad
So
guys. There
there's an
too.
article, and I'll have it up on the screen here, guys, that had talked about this show's going to be set in two time periods. And Mantis, when we last time we had talked about it, you had mentioned that there's going to be a past and a kind of a maybe present,
Sure.
or there's going to be different time periods.
Yeah.
It's mainly primarily going to be set in 2016 and 2026. So there's going to be that 10-year where they're going to kind of flash back. And you kind of got that by when you see Hal there. Sometimes he's got the dark black hair. You can tell they kind of tried to de-age him a little bit. So obviously
Mhm.
we're going to get the current story, what's going on with him. And him constantly saying, like, because it all keeps going on about over my dead body, over this, like, you get the feeling that Hal Jordan's probably gonna die at some point, and that's why he's not in the suit, the Superman Man of Tomorrow, because we know Aaron Pierre and clearly Guy Gardner, Nathan
Mhm.
Fillion's character, are going to be in there. Uh, so does he die at some point in this series? Is he already dead and we're flashing back, or whatever or
Yeah,
direction?
maybe he's turned rogue and turned bad and embraced fear at that point. I mean, we don't know. I mean that, yeah. I mean, I know Sinestro is supposed to be in this.
And you kind of see him, or what is supposed to be him, briefly there. So when you see him going down to that planet that's got the massive crack in it,
Mhm.
clearly that's not Earth, right? That's not, that's not the Grand Canyon. That's a little bit too big, right? But when he's kind of standing in front of that force field of that prison, that person there, that is or supposed to be
Sinestro.
all Sinestro, right? So
Okay.
he's already been imprisoned.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
We don't know. Did he already lead Sinestro Corps Wars? Where are we at with Hal and getting possessed by Parallax after Coast City's destroyed? I mean, where are we at? We don't know.
Right.
We obviously do know that he's kind of, or at least what it looks like, he's coming towards the end of his life cycle. Now, the other interesting part about this too is John Stewart is one of the few Lanterns ever actually chosen in the comics, is chosen by the Guardians. And he's chosen to be a backup. There is, again, it's been retconned, it's been changed over the course of many, many decades, but essentially Abin Sur's ring was always supposed to go to Guy Gardner, but Guy was off. He wasn't anywhere close by. The ring went to Hal. Guy was the backup. Guy gets seriously injured. He was hit by a car trying to save somebody. So they choose John as the backup, but the Guardians do make the choice. Now, you're wondering also, why do the Guardians violate I say violate, it's their fucking rules. They can do whatever they want with them. But we always know that the ring chooses its next person. Like when, the Green Lantern dies, the ring is going to go seek out its next person. Well, why did the Guardians make this choice to say, hey, no, we're going to select who Hal's backup's going to be? Could it be because everything that happened with Hal or what happened with Sinestro that they're like, dude, we need to start picking some of these backups, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we can't leave it up just to the ring at this point, right? They want some control, right? There could be some overreach, why do they get to choose? I don't like the Guardians, this and that, and with all three lanterns being in this show, it definitely, I think you're right, like there has to be a point where either Hal dies or he's loses the ring or something happens there, because you can't have all three in the same at the same time, right? Like you can't have all three.
Well, and we know Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, he's going to be in a few episodes, right? And obviously we see him there. It looks like he's visiting who we have to assume is maybe John Stewart in jail for whatever. And he's already been established, at least in the shot. So maybe probably closer to the 2026 shot, like if they're in that part of the timeline. The article did go on to say too, that there are not going to be any other lanterns. Like that's it. They're not going to have these different
Aliens. Yeah.
Well, different anything, like as far as at least Green Lanterns, there's not going to be, because the question came into, and I can't think, is it the chick at the end there that tells him to go get it? I cannot think of her name at the time here.
I just think of it
and all that. But she tells him to go get, go, because John's given his little spiel about how he would be better, and she tells him to go get it. There was speculation that Carol, right? Is that Carol Ferris, who we know becomes Star Sapphire, but they've already shut down and said, no, there's not going to be any more of that. Like, not going to have that in there. So is that one of the Guardians in disguise, or basically come to Earth to look like a normal human, right?
Could be
One of the theories out there.
John, you are scaring me.
You are scaring me!
Who you talking to?
Right. She's like, Green Lantern ring, dishwasher safe. Giving a fucking commercial. Truman Show, for anybody who didn't get that reference, guys. Sorry. But because is it Laurel Kinney or Kinney? Something, I don't know. If that's wrong, I'm gonna cut that part out.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, they could be working in the back, and that may be something we don't even find out until the second season. I'm assuming they're doing multiple seasons.
So,
they don't.
Yes,
one,
same article did confirm that the plan is for multiple seasons of this show. Now, for how many, we don't know, because we kind of ended Peacemaker on season 2, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be a third one. So maybe they're only doing two season type of little, hey, we can launch 2 different storylines here, or give you a really detailed version of that first one. So I think it is interesting. We saw John, he had the gun, and when he fires and the whole building blows up there, when he's kind of on that mount up, we see what looks like a green dome right there, right? Yeah. At the bottom of the screen there. And you're like, oh, so there's a Green Lantern there somewhere. Is that Hal? I got to assume. I don't think it's Guy at that point. But I don't know. I liked, because a lot of people complained with the first one that it didn't seem like there was a lot of usage of the powers. And here we saw him using a lot of the power. I liked the dome he kind of put over to block the laser blasts. And then, of course, he gets the kind of, protection bubble around him. So, and then the flight. Yep. One of the things I'd made a comment on when we watched the first trailer was when he kind of takes off, it just kind of looked odd. It looked very out of place, like they hadn't finished the CG on it or whatever. But this time we actually see him. Now, granted, it's a little kind of crooked line, but we actually see him, and we see the trail of him flying through. I thought that looked a lot better. So
Well, I like how they mix in like the ridiculous use of their powers with, creating the counterfeit bill to put in the jukebox or whatever. Because I'm just thinking, I'm like, man, I'd make like a construct Roomba to clean up, the house, just 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 shit, just stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah, if I was a lantern, I'd totally do that stuff, construct beer fridge right there, you know.
how does that work? You can't make a construct beer though, so I don't know. Like, I guess the fridge should keep it cold.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the things that for me kind of bothered me is when, if you remember back when, and there'll be a lot of people, and the funniest thing is there's so many people coming out of the woodwork saying they absolutely loved it. It's kind of like what we said with Batman v Superman. We were well into adulthood when the movie released, right? We know and we remember all the hate it got, and now everybody acts like it was the greatest thing in the world. They love it, all the Snyderverse fans. And don't get me wrong, I loved it too. I mean, I still think it's awesome, best Batman fight scene. But when the 2011 Green Lantern dropped, everybody, I mean, the movie was basically universally hated. But then once the Lanterns trailer dropped, people were like, the 2011 Green Lantern's not bad. And it's like, come on, dude. Now I get it too.
It's
There's a
not.
generational thing of, now the younger generation probably didn't see the movie when it released. Now they're watching and they're like, oh, this isn't that bad. Everybody fucking hated that movie when it dropped. And it runs
It's not a great
into
movie.
a problem you have with the Green Lanterns. And even you're still going to run into a little bit of that doing a TV show, but a movie's difficult. Is you have to explain the power rings, the Oa, the Guardians of the Universe, some of the oldest beings in DC Comics, right? The Guardians of the Universe, and all of this stuff, and then have a villain. And to put that in one movie is insane. And that's why it didn't. That's part of why it didn't work. Whereas a TV show, a series, you can stretch that out. The other part is you want to show their powers because, again, I say everybody. There was a fair amount of complaining that you didn't see a lot of Green Lantern powers in the first trailer. But you got to be careful because you can very easily overuse them and then they look corny. Right? Guy got away with it in Superman because he did middle fingers and it was funny. And,
But
he
the
made
thing
John
is,
Evans
like,
nuts.
the concept of constructs in itself is corny, that
Yes.
you could make anything. So like I feel like it's kind of built into the expectations, at least for me. Like, so even in the old, like the Ryan Reynolds version of the movie, like there were people, again, it's like, oh, he made, fighter jets and we're holding them and pulling. I'm just like, that's fine. Like it makes total sense. Like, I don't know what you want it to be. Like,
So for me, I was completely fine with the fighter jets. I don't care about that, even though like you're out right by the sun, right? A normal type of engine is not going to work out in space, but it's a construct. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care about the fighter jets. I get it. He loved them and all this. Even having the Gatling gun when he's fighting, Kilowog and them, because he's earthbound, right? The only thing I had a problem with is the fucking race car and the race car track, right? Completely stupid because just have a fucking baseball mitt glove and catch the fucking helicopter and set it down. Why did you send them through this fucking track? And then, of course, then Carol, like, he's got to go save her. So he drops the helicopter. He's got to go rush back to catch it. Like, just grab it and set it down. Like, that was stupid. That was no Green Lantern's going to do something like that. You want to take care of the problem quickly. That was dumb. That was really my only complaint. And honestly, I didn't like the Hector Hammond, like him kind of like turn it. Because again, it's like you had two villains in the fucking movie and you don't have enough time for barely one. Choose one. You should have just let it be with Hector Hammond and do not bring Parallax into this.
Too big of an enemy. I like the concept of it. Like it kind of is almost like sci-fi, or like even I don't know how to explain it, where he's like sucking people's souls out or whatever. Like I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. The thing is, it's your literally your first like Green Lantern movie of him being in a major motion picture in a way that you can kind of do the CGI and do the powers and make it make sense. And Parallax looked cool. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying like it's my thing like bringing in Doomsday early in Batman v Superman. I just hate the idea of bringing that level of a character in at the beginning. It just seems like an overkill. And then even that, like, I guess it doesn't even come to play with that Green Lantern because it's like not like there was a second one. But if there was, it's like where are you going to go from here? You know?
Well, so, and again, it's changed a lot, but one of the main kind of with Green Lantern, the main storyline behind that and the Guardians and everything is that the willpower, the green color of the visual spectrum, the willpower is actually they're all seven of the main core colors are tied to these ultra powerful like entities that existed at the beginning of the DC universe. Ion is the one for will, right? So it's all tied to that entity. Well, for fear, it's Parallax is that entity, and they never
Right.
really defeat Parallax in the comics. I say really, there's been a couple, but mainly they just imprison him into different things. Like for a while, he's imprisoned in the battery on Oa, right? That's
Yeah.
why there's that little imperfection in the green of that yellow imperfection. But he's imprisoned in the battery. They just have to keep imprisoning places because he's basically that entity from the beginning of time of fear. So
Yeah.
to bring him into the first movie and then kill him off is like, really?
What are we doing? Yeah.
I just, you could have ran with Hector Hammond or fuck. I mean, you're introducing a character like Green Lantern. He needs to get accustomed to his powers. Having fighting street level, maybe a little bit higher than street level type crime, but then fuck up and have people get killed or do that kind of existential crisis. Don't do
Right.
like right now in the Lantern series. We'll get back to it, guys. I'm sorry. They're investigating murders, right? So like when he's in that, when Hal goes into that diner, if when he does the green force field around him, there are bodies
Everyone-
on the floor.
Yeah.
You
Everyone's
know,
dead in there. Yeah.
so, and from what the article had said is that it's obviously there's something that took place in 2016 that apparently kind of goes unsolved, and then it's revisited in 2026. Right. So
That's that whole true crime type of thing. Yeah.
yeah, which we had said when if you watched our video to the original trailer that it kind of had, you said it kind of had those vibes, and it's like, okay, so obviously something happened. The world knows clearly because a guy, and then you see Hal on the news.
A TV. Yeah, he's on
Yeah.
TV. So yeah.
They're sticking with a lot of the core elements because they obviously we hear in there he's like it's be without fear, like what like about being afraid, because that's obviously the core thing is willpower is you basically, or at least what they always believed is the absence of fear, right?
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
looked good. I liked because we got to actually see him in the suit.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people hated that. Here's my bit. If you hate it, that's fine. If you legitimately just don't like it, I actually kind of like it. I'm kind of excited for the series, right? Because I want a Green Lantern series. I want something that's going to give people more information on the Green Lanterns. I do video, and I still barely scratch the surface of it. If you want to go check that out, because again, not even counting what's retconned, you throw that into the mix over the course of decades. There's a lot of information to cover.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch this one because again, this kind of the drama type series is right up my alley. There's action in it, there's mystery, and it is comic book. So like it's a different angle on it, on like the comic book series type thing, superhero series. So I don't think it's gonna do like, because again, it's not for kids, right? So like you're not gonna get the young audience for it, and then you're even though it's an adult series, you're still kind of, I won't say phasing out some of the comic book nerdy type people that don't care about the mystery and solving the problem and the crime and that whole type of thing. It's a different. So I know what not everyone likes Law and Order, but however, I mean Law and Order is it's been going on for ever now. Same thing with CSI. All these cop shows spawn and they go on forever, right? people want to watch that stuff. So it's an interesting gamble for DC Studios to do something like that. So, well, we'll see.
I think where a lot of people have I say a lot. I think where people are gonna have a problem is like you're bringing Green Lanterns in, right? They're intergalactic. I mean, the Guardians of the Universe, right? I mean, the 3,600 sectors cover the entire known universe, not just our galaxy, right? So then you're like, yeah, we're here on Earth, but we see these laser blasts coming down. Also, we
Mhm.
know in this universe, metahumans have been a thing for 3 centuries, right?
Yep.
So I feel like with this mystery and the time flashes and everything going on, I feel like we're going to see a lot more than I think people are expecting when you think about it just being on Earth, right? Because your first thought is we're going intergalactic. I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy style of going, as far as that many places, right? Um,
Mhm.
and it's James Gunn too, so you kind of almost would expect it, right? But it is going to be mostly stationed on Earth. Again, we see him go to another planet,
Mhm.
but I think there's enough there to make it interesting. And I
I
don't know.
agree.
I'm excited for it. If I'm let down, I'm let down, guys. But I'm not giving up hope on this DCU because one, it's all we got right now, and I
I know.
plus I just want to see these characters. Like you don't realize, like, well, you do. We've discussed it, but since the Green Lantern disaster movie, I'm like, dude, we need to
There
redo
hasn't.
this and
Yeah.
make it badass.
Yeah, there hasn't been. That's why I will say give to James Gunn. I mean, he is like aside from the main movies, or I say even aside from like just Superman, right? Like, or he's not going in the typical DC Superman, Batman. We need a Flash movie. We need an Aquaman. He's not doing that. He's like, no, let's do a Clayface horror movie. Let's do a Supergirl movie. Let's
With
do
Lobo.
yeah, let's do a Lanterns show. Let's do a Peacemaker show. Like he's doing these characters that not a lot of people know about, which I do appreciate because essentially not because people uh uh with the MCU starting with Iron Man and Thor, some of these lesser known characters when they first came out. That's kind of what he's replicating here to an extreme. Because again, if he wanted to, he has the main players on a tee. If he wanted to make a a big splash and make a lot of money for the studio and make everyone happy, he could have just done a Batman movie. It didn't even matter who it is. As we talked about, the comics, the movies, the games, the TV show, it doesn't even matter. If Batman's involved, it fucking sells. People, not just US, worldwide. If he wanted to, he could have just done that, but he didn't. So taking some gambles on it.
Robert Pattinson, sparkly Twilight dude, who I would have probably been my last choice for a Batman when you think about the popular actors, played Batman and it did very well. Like,
Yeah,
it's Batman.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It literally doesn't matter. Even Batman spinoffs, Penguin series did great. Like,
Although
I mean,
Colin
it doesn't
Keller
even
is
matter.
amazing in that.
He is. I mean, it's insanely well acted, well written show. So I mean, coming back to the Lanterns, it I agree. I applaud them for kind of thinking out of the box on characters that they haven't particularly focused on in the past. And I'm not even including that like the 2000 the Ryan Reynolds one because again, everyone hated it. Don't act like you didn't hate it. You did, and to be fair, it's well warranted. There are parts of it that I don't mind, but overall, the movie is not good. So, you know, let's revisit it, even if it's in a television series. Let's. I agree. I want to see it.
Well, the good thing is we can clearly see now that we got to see some of his powers, where the HBO Max budget is coming into play because it looks like a movie.
It looks
right?
good. It does. It looks
in
like a
great
movie.
quality here.
Yep.
So, last thing here is my hope is we've seen it with a lot of, Mantis and I grew up in the time of we would watch a television series, if Smallville, even Arrow, where we got 24 episodes, between 20 and 24, and you'd wait maybe 4 months, 5 months, and then the series was back on for the next season. Whereas here we get 6 to 8 episodes thrown at us within a few weeks, and then we wait 2 years for the next season, year and a half, 2 years for the next season.
No,
It's a little
it's
rough.
weird.
We watched the kids from Stranger Things go from being tiny little like 10-year-olds to drawing Social Security by the time the series hit its 5th season. Like it's, I kind of hope like they make these in a little more rapid fire. So it's like maybe a year and a half between them, so we can kind of fill in the gaps of what happened from some of the other movies, or however you want
Yes.
to go it. But
I'm assuming they're going to split it. Like we'll see the season 1 now. Then obviously they're going to be in Superman Man of Tomorrow, so you'll get that continuity. I'm assuming hopefully next year we'll see the 2nd season of Lanterns, and there'll be that continuity continuing along. But who knows?
we'll just have to wait and see. And if you are subscribed to the channel, which you can do by clicking right down there and hitting the like button, because if you made it with us this far, you might as well. And if you have your bell notifications clicked, when we know, we will let you know. You can come here for all of your DC news, not only what's happening in the DCU, but everything happening in the comics, right? Because we got a lot going on. We're covering the entire Absolute universe. It's not out right yet. I've already recorded it. It is getting ready to release at the time of where we're recording this one. Absolute Green Arrow just started. Awesome. Absolutely loving it here. We're even still doing the Justice League Unlimited, seeing what's going on with that after everything that happened at the KO event. So have the bell notification clicked so you will get alerted when we release these videos. Mantis, do you have anything else?
Nope.
All right. Then that is going to do it for us on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
Long and prosper.
Oh, man.